Yes, Mr. B, I can see you now clearly.
Thank you. Welcome to NGM Sports. This is your weekly sports program that normally come on Thursdays from the hours of 5 o'clock to 5:35 to 5:40. Today, our guest is Mr. Lamin A Jammeh, the first Vice President of Gambia Volleyball Federation. I am your host, Osman Bi, from the Gambia, one of the Gambian sport journalists, and then we have to thank our able technician, that's Mr. Sawane, who is all the way from United States of America. Mr. Jammeh, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. B. It's a pleasure to be part of this wonderful platform.
Good. Okay. Before we start the program, or before we go straight to the questions, can you describe yourself? Who is Mr. Lamin A Jammeh?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Lamin A Jammeh, a resident of Brikama, the Gambia. I am part of Gambia Volleyball Federation for almost close to 15 years now as an executive member. I started as an assistant secretary, then rose to the rank of a secretary general. Then finally, I'm the first vice president of the federation.
Mhm.
Yes.
What's your knowledge about volleyball?
Yeah, I am a sport administrator ever since, but although
Can you tell us
once I was at the
what
point,
do you know about volleyball? In that led you to be in this position.
yeah, for me, I'm really passionate about sport, particularly sport administration. I am part of the Secondary School Sport Association, and then part of our mandate is to organize competition at the school level. And then I was also
Okay.
at the focal
Can
person
we now?
responsible.
Okay. Mhm, mhm,
Can I go ahead or I'll wait for you?
mhm. Yes. Yes. We are listening.
Okay, very good. I was saying I'm the, in fact, I can say that I am the focal person for volleyball at the school level, and trying to organize volleyball
Mhm.
competition as well as basketball and the like. So that made me to have a love for volleyball as a result of my involvement in volleyball, activities at the school-based level. So as a result of my that involvement, that was also made me to be
Okay.
attracted to the executive members who then wants to come with a new, executive, and then they approached me, and then I accepted, and I joined the team, and eventually become the executive. And from there, then up to now, that made me to be part of this executive.
Mhm. Okay. Good. Well, what's the level of volleyball sports in the Gambia? What's the level of it?
Generally, I think from the view of many, volleyball is one of the most uprising sports in this country. People are even rating volleyball to be
Mm.
among the best three or among the best two sports in the country. When you talk about football, others will argue that volleyball is going to come out second or athletics. But by virtue of our international engagement in terms of bringing accolades to the country, in terms of bringing trophies and medals to the country, I think volleyball is one of the most
Mhm.
front association that is leading for as far as
Okay.
that international recognition of bringing medal for the country is concerned.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you tell us something about our national volleyball in this country? Because football dominated.
Yeah, it was not easy to reach at this level because we had a lot of challenges along the way when we took over. Then volleyball was very low in terms of popularity, in terms of people awareness about the volleyball activities in the country was very low. But we strive very hard to reach
Mhm,
at this level. And today it's highly publicized. We have a lot of journalists that are involved in publicizing our league. So it's highly known, just like football, although football is more dominant, but volleyball also is doing very well. And at the moment,
mhm,
we have 10 teams that are involved in the league, both male and female 10 team and male 10 teams. We have a league format and then as well as the knockout format. When the league ends, then we go in for the knockout. That is the indoor, and equally we also have a beach volleyball as well as a national league as well for beach volleyball. So both indoor
mhm,
volleyball and beach volleyball are all going concurrently on yearly basis that has never been interrupted since we came into office.
mhm. How many teams that have been that are affiliated to the Federation of Gambia Volleyball Federation? How many teams that have affiliate that you have registered under your federation?
Yeah, for the National League, we have 10 male teams and 10 female teams. A good number of them are even institutional teams like police, like the army team, and then the prison, fire and rescue staff, but 10 male team and 10 female teams that are playing in our National League.
Okay. How about the facilities? Because in the Gambia, sometimes even in football, people are complaining about football fields. There are no standard football fields. How about volleyball? Do you have standard facilities where you normally where those teams normally compete?
Yeah, we are equally constrained, just like football. In fact, we are even worse than football because some football field you have a good standard pitch. Maybe you don't have a very good pavilion. But for volleyball, there is no standard court in volleyball in the Gambia. So
Mhm,
some time back, our national international federation, provided us capex, and that capex we just fix it at the stadium when we are playing. Maybe our league, so knockout finals. Those are the only time that we fix it because we don't own the place, so we cannot leave it permanent. And then that's it. Once that is done, we have to remove it. So we have to play on
mhm,
concrete slabs, and which is very, very risky because volleyball, as you know, is a game that they need to be flying. I mean, they can fly down to hit the ball, to receive the ball and the like. So if the place is concrete, obviously the mindset is you cannot go down and receive the ball. So all these are some of the constraints that we encounter due to a lack of facilities, and we don't have any indoor court in the Gambia. As a result, we cannot organize any international competition in the country. So these are the major constraints that we are facing as a federation.
Now, what are you doing to be able to solve those constraints?
Yeah, I think we have a very good rapport with the ministry, Bakarbadi, the minister, together with the ministry staff in general. But they rated volleyball very high and they have high regard for us. So, but anytime we have an engagement with them, this is one of the things, this is one of the advocates that we always put forward. That is, please help us with an indoor court. And then we even got a space at the stadium. It's an abandoned court that was allocated for the wrestling, but they cannot use it now. That's what we are using now. And then, but we are trying to, standardize it. But the money is our problem. We don't still have that support to be able to at least standardize it because we have a Teraflex that can be used international level. Already, our international partners have provided us with those. So we got a lot of support from international, but we cannot have any place to fix it. So if at all we have that
Mhm.
place, we could have Teraflex, and then at least it would be somehow standard that we can do. But still, that's a problem. But we are very optimistic that someday, that will be history.
Players. leaving the Gambia to go to the international clubs to go and sign contract. Is it the same? Is it happening in volleyball, more especially in the clubs that are participating in this country? Are we seeing the same thing happening?
In the past, that was not, but now it's very, very common. I think, although our size is small, but when you look at it in a ratio form, I think we'll be one of the most highest in terms of exporting players outside. But most of our players
Mhm,
goes to Qatar and Dubai, and then they are playing their international, um,
mhm,
activity volleyball there. They become international athletes there and then or elite athletes there in Dubai and Qatar. Some of them are playing in some African countries because when you go for
mhm,
competition, they have seen our athletes, the quality of the athlete that we have.
mhm,
As a result, they will come after them. Some of our athletes are playing in Rwanda, others are playing in Senegal and other places, and they are paying them good salaries. And then we had one of our players that
mhm.
was in Slovenia, but because of the some of the lack of motivations here and there, also he eventually naturalized. But all of them passes through volleyball to go to the international. So when you look at it, even this year alone, the number of people that travels, is even more than 10 to 15, athletes that travels to become elite athletes in foreign lands.
Now, how are you funding your federation? Because even clubs that are taking part in your competitions, they might need some financial support. If there is a winner who won the competition, what are some of the things that you normally give to the teams, more especially about money aspect?
Yeah, we are one of the struggling federation. At times, when you look at our organizational level, our output, when you look at it, the results that we come out with from the international competition, some will even believe that
Mhm,
volleyball is one of the weakest apart from football, but that's not the case. In fact,
mhm,
we are one of the poorest. Just like we are just organized and we try to lobby for funding, support from partners internally in the country. And some of the projects that we have internationally do help us a little bit. Otherwise, there is
mhm,
no source of funding readiness that we have. There is no allocated funding from the national level, not at the regional subvention or at the continental subvention or international subvention like GFF have. We don't have all those things. So barely we just have an empty budget. Sorry, empty coffers. So we only have to struggle by writing on annual basis. We have to write letters, solicit support from stakeholders, and those are the money that we gather together. And some of the little, subscription or the registration fee paid by the various teams is what we put them together, and then we run our activities. But we don't have any ready-made support, just like subvention
mhm.
internationally or locally. No.
How do you normally organize your competitions, more especially in the both male and female? Because in football we have what we call first division, second division, and third division, where teams always played in a two-leg format, like in the first round and second round. When it comes to volleyball, how do you normally organize your national league?
Yeah, we have a similar format like football. We have home and away matches, but, in our league, in our national league, in our home and away. And then
Mhm,
we equally have knockout as well. When the league finishes the knockout, we also rate the teams. The top teams will not play the first round. The bottom team will play the first round, and then when they qualify, they meet the top teams, and then they play at the knockout
mhm,
stage. But for the league, we have one
mhm,
national league. That is, we don't have a categories like the first division and second division. We only have a first division. So we are
mhm,
thinking of next year to introduce second
mhm,
division because the demand is increasing. The number of teams that want to come is increasing. So we don't want to overinflate our first division type, but that will take us a long period before we finish the league. So that's why we want to create a second division. But for the time being now, we only have one category that is only second first division, but in the
mhm.
same format, home and away.
Okay. Now let's talk Okay. Now let us talk about the upcoming youth development COP, which is scheduled to take place on the 2nd of September to the 7th of September. Can you tell us something about it?
Yeah, I think this one comes as a big plus for the Gambia volleyball and the country as a whole, because we are not originally, you
Mhm,
know, designated to host this competition. But looking at the position of Gambia,
mhm,
close proximity to Senegal, because Senegal is going to host this Youth Olympics next year, that is 2026, and then they now want to engage African countries to be involved in multiple, many activities, so that at least their level can also increase when the international competition comes. And equally, they want to also acclimatize some of those people that are going to participate to get used to the weather. And looking at the Gambia and Senegal, our proximity, they all share the same, weather condition. As a result, they said, okay, since Senegal is going to host, so let them also give one shot to Gambia, looking at the track record of Gambia in our participation, our organizations, and then our output, that we are doing. Obviously, we deserve it. So it was just came as a surprise, but it's a big blessing, it's a big trust,
mhm.
because we are going to have 12 countries that are going to come, including the Gambia, both male and female, that are well known in continentally as a big powerhouse in volleyball, beach volleyball in particular. They're all coming to the Gambia for the first time, having such type of competition in the country.
Yeah, that's a great achievement. But now, you did talk about you struggling financially, both international and nationally. Um, and that competition that we are talking about, that Youth Development Cup, who is going to fund that competition?
Yeah, the funding is going to be in two fold. One fold will come from our national, international partners, that is FIVB in partnership with CAVB. They are going to fund an ANOCA as well, because Olympic Committee also has involved, or International Olympic Committee has also involved. So they are going to fund a part of it, but that will not be enough, because the amount of money that they're going to give to us, part of it is going to
Mm,
take care of the transport fares, sorry, the airfares for these air tickets for these athletes that will come in from different countries in Africa. And then part of that money equally, their lodging, their transportation, their feeding will all come out of it. So when you look at that, it's not going to be enough. So we have to raise fund locally. And at the moment, we are very much busy on that, trying to knock at the doors, various doors, to ensure that at least we get some support. So for the time being, that's where we are. So we are hopeful that when the partners and the stakeholders in the country, together with the government, they also support us. We believe we are going to take a very, very successful competition in the country.
Now, in terms of accommodation, are you going to lodge those teams at the hotel, or are you going to lodge them at a different places?
No, our plan is all the competing athletes together with their officials will be lodged in one hotel, at least 3-star
Mm,
hotel. Should not be lower than 3-star hotel, 3 or 4 or 5 star, but
yeah.
at least 3-star hotel. Then the
Mhm,
official, the control committee members who are going to be in charge, at least they should also be lodged at a 4-star hotel. Yeah, and equally,
oh,
that day equally, during that period as well, we got another blessing. That is,
mhm,
our international partners have agreed to allow them to host another international, referee course in beach volleyball. This is a very rare course in Africa,
mhm,
and then but when we love it, obviously they accept it, and then but it is a very expensive course, because a lot of things have to be funded locally by the people that are going to participate. So meaning the countries that are going to
mhm,
come to send their referees are also going to pay. So all this
mhm.
program is going to be together simultaneously. So we have a huge program, but all of them, I hopeful, is going to be taken care with our experience now. We will not have a problem in trying to organize a very good competition.
Recently, Gambia had a very successful journey in Abuja, and then they were able to did some great achievements there. Can you tell us the journey, our under 18's journey in Abuja and their successes?
Yeah, in fact, it started from Algeria, because the team was
Okay.
prepared. for almost 3 months to go and participate for first edition of African School Games in Algeria. And then from there, then there will be another on the 18 continental competition at Nigeria. So the same team is prepared for all these two competitions. So fortunately, we were able to attend both. And we went to Algeria with the two teams, both male and female beach volleyball team. And we are lucky to be in the finals due to our good performance. And then unfortunately, we could not be crowned as gold medalists, but we all came as silver medalists. So from there, then that very day that we finished the match, that was the very day the boys and girls have to flew to Nigeria to be part of that competition. In fact, the day we arrived, already some of the matches have already started, and then the following day in the morning they have to play two matches. Unfortunately, they won all their two matches, and eventually the boys went to the finals, and then they become the African champions on the 18 category, and then the girls stopped at the quarterfinal. So they played their ranking game and they equally, won that one. As a result, it ranks them among the best five countries. And as a result of the qualifying spot for the World Championship, so that one is a qualification for World Championship on the 18th. So due to the spot that they allocate for Africa, our two teams all got automatic spot to go to Qatar in September. Yeah.
To the surprise of many, Gambia, we don't have facilities where those athletes can just try to showcase their talent. And then we cannot compare ourselves to Senegal, Nigeria, and Algeria, and other countries. But how were we able to achieve that when we went to Abuja?
Yeah, one fortunate thing is Gambia is blessed with very fine beaches. We have beaches all around, and then we utilize that opportunity trying to train our people effectively. Indoor is our problem. That's why we are not excelling in the indoor very well, like other countries, because of the facilities. But since beach is available, we don't have any problem with that. So we also capitalize on that opportunity and train our people very well. That's why Gambia is one of the most renowned country when it comes to beach volleyball, both senior and junior category. This is not even the first time. We were one time continental champions in the senior category beach volleyball, male side. And then we qualified Olympics, Commonwealth Games in Birmingham sometime 2 years back. And then World Championship, we have been there senior category two times, junior category two times, and this time around again we are going for another World Championship. So when it comes to that one, countries like Senegal, even Nigeria, Senegal, within our sub-region, they cannot match the standard of Gambia when it comes to beach volleyball. Our only problem is the indoor. But for the beach, we are a country to be reckoned with.
Now the team has qualified for FIVB World Beach Championship in Doha. But before we talk about that, we have seen a report that you have signed an agreement with Qatar Volleyball Federation. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, Qatar is a long-term partners, and this is not the first time that we are partners with them, and this is not the first time. In fact, they've invited our people to go and then have training there. In fact, we have some of our athletes there already that are playing in Qatar, but equally they give them the opportunity also to train in Qatar when it comes to competitions as well. So this time around, when we qualified, and then the competition is going to be in Qatar, since they are our partners, it was very easy for us to facilitate and make it possible. So they have agreed in principle that they are going to launch our athletes, they are going to give them feeding, and then there are logistical issues like transportation to the training ground, to their home. They will take care of all those things. So the only thing that we also need to do is to take care of our athletes from the Gambia to Qatar, as well as maybe their allowances. That's the only thing that we need to do. So they will be there almost 3 to 1 month in order to train effectively and focus on the competition. And then once the training ends, automatically they will go into the competition because it's going to be in Qatar.
Now that's a huge, yeah, it's going to be a very huge competition for FIVB World Beach Volleyball that will be taking place in Doha. What is the level of preparation for the Gambia going into this competition?
We are preparing, we are not taking anything for granted because we know continental level, what we have done is already been done, and that's history now. So, but we are going to the global stage. And then we have been doing a lot at the continental level, but at the global level, the challenge is huge because we are meeting standard country, standard team from a well-renowned country with country that have enough resources. So we need to organize ourselves very well. We need to train harder than before, and we are working
Mhm.
on that. I think one of the road that we are taking is to go to Qatar. There are also a better facilities than Gambia, and where at least we focus and they will not be distracted. All these are some of the measures that we are taking in order to give them a befitting, training, so a preparation rather for this World Championship.
Now, as we all know, when you are preparing a national team to go and compete at the international stages, it's always difficult, more especially about financing the team. What is your connection with the ministry in terms of funding our national volleyball team to go and compete in Doha?
Already, we have not yet approached them because when we are going to this African Continental Championship for this one 18 in Nigeria, we got support, indirectly from the government because NOC supported, but NOC also got part of the support from the government as well. But this time around, immediately we qualified, and before we even approach the ministry, the first move by the minister is to assure us on his Facebook page that since we qualified, the government is ready to give us all the support to ensure that we go and participate and represent the country effectively in that championship. So we are very optimistic that we are going to get all the needed support and the funding needed to go and prepare the team and get to this competition and come up with something from it.
I do think you as the first vice president, do you think Gambia have a team that you think can compete against those international team or not big teams in that competition? Do you think Gambia got enough players that can compete and give us something at the end of the day?
We have no doubt because we believe in our boys, and then some of them are first timers. Like the two girls, we have a girl and a boy that are two, first timers. But equally, we also have other two that are also a little bit experienced. So their connections, they are coming together. Obviously, will help each other to ensure that they perform very well. Just like what they have done at the continental level, we are very hopeful that they are going to duplicate a similar performance at the international stage. But this is not the first time that we have gone international and we performed very well. Sometime back, we were in Italy in World Championship. I was with the team there together with my president. And then Gambia was among the few countries, in fact, we are the only African countries that was able to play with in a high level, beach volleyball teams and make, 18 points against them. 17 points, 18 points against them. They were even amazed. Some of the African countries they were having under five, under seven, not even 10. They are the only country. In fact, they have to immediately after that, the FIVB, that's our international body, the president was there. He was very impressed. As a result, we just unlock a lot of opportunities for us to apply, and then they give us the support because of what we are doing. And all these things came as a result of our performance. And that was our maiden competition. So much more so with this one now that we are preparing very well. We have an international campaign prepared very well. Psychologically, they'll be well prepared, and then technically they'll be there. I believe, obviously, they'll come out with a respectable, results when they get to the championship.
Yeah, that's a good. I think we are very much impressed about that, and then we hopefully that Gambia can come up with flying colors in that competition in Doha. But before we go there, you must need some logistics. It's not like you cannot get it all, but I know there are the most important ones. What are some of the most important things that you need to go with going into that competition?
Yeah, for big volleyball, their logistics are not that much. If a little support can move us, so that is the training. Once we get the enabling environment, obviously we can. And two is good allowances to motivate the boys, and the girls equally they can also do. I think one way of motivating and preparing them is to go to this place, Qatar. But equally, the government also we are encouraging on them to give us more support. But the moment we prepare these people in terms of their training, they don't like any things in their training because we don't need a lot of facilities because already beach is available, and then that one does not need much cost for us to go there. But the only thing that we need is allowances for them, a good allowances that will motivate them, and then also their wares, their good jerseys, their campaign dresses. Once all those things are in place, obviously they will be more satisfied and be ready to go and participate.
The issue of allowance becomes a big problem in this country. Even football, even the national team, our Scorpions, players normally complain about their allowances. After that success in Nigeria or in Abuja, did you get your allowances for your players?
When they were going to Algeria, the NOC, that is the Gambia Olympic Committee, did very well by giving them a very good allowance. But equally from our part as well, we promised them that if they come, whether they perform or not, going there alone is something. So when they come, we are going to give them extra allowances for their participation in the game, and that will be done. But it's yet to be done, but it will be done before even this competition in September comes.
Yeah, this is just it is a national team, and then I think every Gambian should take part in terms of funding this team to go, our teams to go to Qatar, Doha, to go and compete at the FIVB. Now, sometimes a team can request, like they can say, they can tell the ministry, this is the amount that we need to go with to go in for this competition. Now, if I may ask you, how much do you need in time? Whether you need $1 million here, or maybe you need 5 million to go to Qatar?
Yeah, I think major one is the allowance and tickets. But that's what
Yes.
Qatar Federation asks to do as part of our contribution
Hmm.
to take care of these boys to go to Qatar by paying their airfare, and then also allowances. So we will write to the government and then inform them, and then equally we will prepare a budget, and then that used to be our routine in terms of our engagement with the government. Anytime we are going for competition, we write and then attach a budget, and then most of the time they honor the budget, even if it's not 100%, but they get very
Hmm.
close to 100%. For us, we are very much satisfied with our working relationship with the government. They are very much supportive, particularly the Ministry of Youth and Sport. They are very, very supportive in the cost of volleyball.
Mr. Jami, I think we have. I think you have almost answered almost our every question that we have asked. Then we are very much impressed with that, and then we hope the Gambia can definitely come up with flying colors in that particular competition. Finally, what do you have for the people of the Gambia in terms of preparation going into Qatar? What do you have? What can you tell us before we go there?
Yeah, we are prepared. Before we get there, we have to take part in this competition first. That is coming on the 2nd to the 7th of September, and then the same boys and girls that are going to participate for the country, and then we need support, both financial support and as well as moral support, so that these boys will be very much comfortable. And then this is we are the one hosting, and we should capitalize on that and ensure that we win and we win big, by lifting the gold medal both categories. And then from there, then we move to Qatar. So we need support from the government. We need support from the stakeholders. But volleyball is doing very well. But what can sustain that is support. And once the support is there, we'll continue to raise the flag of this country at the highest level at both continental and then the world stage. So the only
Finally,
appeal
where
is let them support.
Mhm. Finally, where do you think Gambia can finish in that particular? Are we going to win the trophy, or maybe will be the runners up? Where do you think we'll see the Gambia finishing in that particular competition?
Yeah, we are very, very hopeful, and we even want to assure the Gambians that we are very hopeful that we are going to lift the gold medal in the country, because almost similar quality, at least that we played with in Nigeria, our foreign land, and then we happen to become the gold medalists. Our girls were a bit tired because for one competition we are the only country that has undergone that, because most of the countries they were preparing their under 18 and their school going children separately so that they can have very good performance on the 18, because that one is a qualification spot. But Gambia
Mhm.
prepare one team from one, we flew to Nigeria, and they did not even rest, and yet they were able to come out with that position. So most of that they have rested, and then the home support is there. We are very hopeful that more teams can come up with gold medal.
We wish you all the best and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure, and I thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to having you.
Thank you.